So I'm sitting here watching the news mix, and basically what that is it puts the four main news channels in like a grid. So it's CNN, MSNBC, BBC, and then of course Fox. Oh God! So Laura Ingram is what's on right now. She petty, like in a petty in a way that I'm like, ooh wee, girl, I would really love to meet her in person. Calling Maxine Waters auntie, like, come on now, this is you. She petty, really, like just petty, because Maxine Waters was out protesting with protesters about the George Floyd case. And it's like, why are you calling her auntie? Like, see, you're trying to be funny. And it's like, okay, when you watch some of these, well, okay, well, let me just say, when I watch some of these shows that are on Fox News, which I say Fox News real loosely because at the end of the day, I'm going to need you to realize that they are registered as an entertainment company, not as a news company. So, the things that they say and how they talk, it's like, wow, I didn't know that news anchors talk that way. You know, I mean, it's like night and day when you watch. Even, okay, let's not even say CNN. Let's just say my local news. I mean, there's a certain way you should conduct yourself when you're reporting news, facts, which it seems is hard for Fox News to do. It's just crazy to me. I mean, and then the way that they spin things. Like, okay, just because you try to put the Black Lives Matter movement in the same category as people that as rioters and looters and thugs does not mean that that's true just because you said it. I mean, people don't seem to know the difference between rioters and looters and thugs and protesters. They're not the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that when there have been Black Lives Matter protests, there have been people that have done those things. But 9 times out of 10, those are not the people that are representative of the Black Lives Matter movement. Those are people that came there specifically for trying to riot, loot, and be thugs. You know, it's just I don't understand. Even now, okay, so I just put a video up on my TikTok about the difference between a riot and a protest. Okay, so let's just take what happened here in my city. Let's just take that as an example. Okay, so I don't know if it was basically on campus OSU, and they were flipping over cars and just getting out of hand, and flipping over innocent people's cars. I mean, these people didn't have anything to do with anything, and this was like overflow from some kind of party. They said it was called Chip Fest. Yeah. So people called the police on them. Let me make sure, because I like to make sure that I'm stating facts. Where's my laptop at? So I think that they called the police on them around 11, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let me see.
told me on the phone Columbus police were in the area of Chittenden beginning around 10:45 that night, and in situations like this, they have to weigh whether it is safe for officers and the public for police to enter the crowd. He told me they moved in when they felt the situation was on the verge of violence. Now they, along with university officials, are looking to identify the people responsible for flipping
Okay.
cars and
Well,
damaging
let me
property.
just say this. Let me just say this. Okay. So they waited to come in and do anything. The police did. But, okay, this is my thing. The majority of those people out there were white college kids. Is that the reason why you guys didn't move in and do anything? You allowed them to vandalize people's cars and act wild and crazy, make a complete total mess, destroy property, all those things. But I mean, if that same crowd were black doing those same things, would you have waited that long? I mean, this stuff is just getting out of hand to the point where it's like, okay, riddle me this, Batman. A white man and a black man commit same crime. Why is it that they are not getting same sentence, same treatment? Why is it that people of color are so we're second class citizens? I don't understand that. Those people were doing that, and I mean that's not the first time that they've done that type of stuff on campus either. I mean they do that when their team loses. They do it when the team wins. They do it. It's like, well, damn. Like, what are you doing this for? But they don't call them thugs and rioters and, whatever. It's just, oh, kids will be kids. Like, no. No. And then when we are out here protesting about police murdering our black sons and daughters, fathers, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, grandfathers, because we're protesting, we're thugs, we're looters, we're rioters. I don't, that it could not be it's the furthest from the truth. It is the furthest from the truth. All we want is to be equal. That's all. Why is it that I have to teach my black son how to not make the police want to shoot him first and ask questions later, versus a white mother with a white son does not have to have the same talk with her son? Why is that? Why is it that my black son is threatening or made the police fear for their lives? Why is that? What, just because of how he looked? Just because he's black? I mean, let's just be realistic here. The reason why racism and these things that have been going on for a long time, this stuff has not just started to pop up. It's been going on. The reason why it's being so much more publicized now is because social media, phones, everybody's got a phone with a camera on it that can video record. So that's why these things are they're being put out here more. And it's just, it blows my mind that people really try to say that racism does not exist in America. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I mean, I have my own stories that I can prove to you that racism does exist in America. I mean, I don't really want to go into that right now. I probably will share a couple of stories that I have, because for the most part, one thing I will say is when you share these stories, most people don't want to believe you. They want to think that you're elaborating or, um, you know, adding on to the story to make it more than what it is. But no, it is what it is. I mean, even from me losing a child and it being the fault of the hospital, but them finding a way to make it be my fault and blame me and make it so that we could not come after them. And I just wonder if the color of my skin was different, would they have treated me that way? Um, so many things. So many times where I know it was because I'm black is the reason why they treated me that way. For sure. I mean, there couldn't be any other reason. It's not like you knew me. So why did you treat me that way? And I say this because it's just things have to change. You know, we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. We're not. Until things change. Until we are accepted as equals in society. Until I don't have to teach my children to have to interact differently with the police, my black children to interact differently with the police than white children would. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that the D.L. Hughley said it best about the scariest place for a black person to live is in a white person's mind. I don't know if it's because of TV or, whatever the case may be, movies, shows that they've seen, whatever the case. But I'm just, I'm just here to tell you that 90% of black people in America, we just want to live our life and take care of our family. That's all. We just trying to live life, you know, get our little slice of the American dream, the slice of the American pie, raise our children and live good and enjoy life. I mean that's it. That's all. I mean, for me to hear from a white female police officer, for her to tell me, you're not like them. Like, when you say that, what do you mean, I'm not like them? What does that mean? You don't know them. You don't know me. You just think you do. So, what do you mean, I'm not like them? Because I'm here to tell you, there are a lot of people that, are, there's a lot of black people. We are just trying to live. That's all. We're just trying to live and raise our families and have a good life. That's all. I feel that we deserve that. You know, we deserve that. Not all black people are drug dealers and schemers and scammers and, and lazy and, live off of welfare, all that shit. Like, that is just because I'm here to tell you, because we have so many children, that is always the assumption of people that that I guess because I have 6 children, I have to be on welfare. I mean, I just have to be. It's like, okay, yes, at certain points in my life, yes, we were on welfare, but trust and believe it was because I absolutely needed it at the time. And When I didn't need it anymore, I got off. It was not something that was an ongoing thing, you know? It's like, man, the one thing that I needed them for was just health insurance, because trying to pay for health insurance is just ridiculous nowadays. I mean, downright outrageous, where you'll damn near be giving up your whole paycheck just to pay for some insurance. And how are we supposed to live? You know, all these people, these, and I don't have anything against, but it's just, rich people, I guess, if that's what you want to call them. I have a problem with I have a problem with rich people that feel like just because we're not in the same tax bracket as you, we don't matter. At the end of the day, you need to look at it like this: everybody matters, from the top down to the bottom. Somebody's got to be at the bottom. And those people that are lower on the totem pole than you, they make it possible for you to be up there at the top. So without them, you wouldn't be up there anyway. So for you to try to down and degrade and make things harder on, over overwork, overtax, underpaid, overlooked, discriminated against, just, it really makes you look at the world differently. It really does. It really makes you look at the world differently. All I know is, I'm not my ancestors. I'm not gonna tolerate that shit. All that shit that people be talking, okay, all right, internet gangster, talk all that shit on the internet, but when I see you face to face, you know. And then the thing about it is, in order for any of this stuff to get better, people have to be willing to engage in conversations that maybe make them uncomfortable, conversations that they probably don't want to have, but they're going to have to be had in order for us to come together, you know. Um, Break down those stereotypes, because I think a lot of it has to do with that, and assuming what people are, just because I'm black, I'm this, or just because I'm, emotional, or showing any type of emotional response, or I have to be an angry black woman. No, I'm not. I'm not an angry black woman. No, I'm just passionate about my shit. That's all. Just passionate about my shit. And it's just crazy. This whole thing is crazy. I just got done watching that interview that Trump did. Oh God, on Fox. Oh God, just whenever he opens his mouth, he's lying. I just need you to know that. Whenever he opens his mouth, he's lying. Just lies and bullshit. Real talk. It's sad, really. And of course, Fox News is the only the only channel that'll give him any type of any type of time. Nobody wants to hear anything coming out of his mouth. Nobody cares anymore. We voted you out. You lost. Bye. We don't care about whatever your plans are. I mean, he was on there saying basically that all the states that were doing bad were all ran by Democrats, and the states that were doing good were ran by Republicans. Basically, like, Republicans are the saviors and Democrats are just the devil. Like, bruh, go on with that. For real. It's just the lies. It's the lies for me. It's like, you lost. Go on. Bye bye now. Bye bye. I just had to get that off my chest, though. I don't know. If you like what I said, leave me a like, comment. I love to have conversation, and talk and go back and forth. Um, Keep it respectful, though. You know, I respect you as long as you respect me. I don't do that arguing back and forth and all that. I don't have time for that because I have a life and a whole family, so I'm not about to do that. But thank you for tuning in. If you did watch, I appreciate it.